Probability of success is Bitcoin.
Actually, not everyone is so optimistic about this rally. Some analysts told Bloomberg that actually Bitcoin is not getting nearly as much attention as it used to in 2017. Katie Jones, Chief Fixed Income Strategist for Schwab Center for Financial Research, said, "The fascination with it has worn off. You have the hardcore, I'm a cryptocurrency investor group, but it hasn't really expanded." What do you think about this statement?
From what I know, and I know a lot of people in the industry, they are all onboarding institutional clients, family offices, endowments at an enormous pace. But 20,000 here is not the same as 20,000 back then. Back then it had gone up 100-fold when it got to 20,000. We haven't even started this yet. So later on, when things get speculative, we will see something similar potentially play out. But the difference is, again, and where these guys are getting it wrong, they're saying, well, people aren't as interested. Yeah, but the real money is interested, and that's a game changer.
So not long ago, we saw positive news coming up regarding the coronavirus pandemic. We see the light at the end of the tunnel finally. There is a vaccine being developed soon, and it will be launched in the next few months. So according to some analysts, these news are actually negative for Bitcoin. For example, Bryce Doty, portfolio manager at SIT Fixed Income Advisors, said that Bitcoin gets attention when it looks like the world is coming to an end. It is the anti-vaccine trade. What do you think about this statement?
He doesn't understand Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, again, regardless of what's going on, that money is coming. But let's look at the reasons. So I have a feeling that the vaccine takes until Q3 next year before it's really rolled out. We look at the European economy, it is falling fast. I don't know how they're going to deal with Christmas and New Year. The US economy's got the same problems. I think it goes into lockdown in January, February, once the Biden administration comes in, because the virus over Thanksgiving, New Year and Christmas is going to grow substantially. I think we've got problems in India after Diwali, where you've got hundreds of millions of people together celebrating, and I think we're going to get a big second wave in India. So we've got problems. The vaccine takes time to take out. Even the Pfizer vaccine needs to be at minus 77 degrees. There's impossible logistics to get it out fast enough. So this is not an instant fix. There's not enough doses for everybody. There's going to be a geopolitical fight over who gets what. So I think we can write off until the summer, basically. So the economy is weak. So in that scenario, considering we didn't in the US get a stimulus package and Europe's been slow to get a stimulus package, the central banks step in first and eventually they pass some stimulus, but it won't be enough. If I'm right and the economy is worse than expected, we'll get a much bigger stimulus package and the central banks will underwrite that too. Then after that, we have me being wrong. Me being wrong is the vaccine gets rolled out in 1 quarter and we've add more stimulus and the central banks keep stimulating. They've all got inflation targets that they want to overshoot and we get inflation. Well, Bitcoin's going to do well in that too. So we've got both scenarios almost. I've literally never seen a setup like this where you have almost both scenarios playing out, that it doesn't matter whether you get the macro call right or not, because both amount to the same thing. And that's really interesting.
Not long ago, we saw that these positive news about the coronavirus pandemic are actually marking a shift in investors' behavior. More and more investors are interested in value stocks, which are the stocks that usually mark a positive period for the economy. While during the coronavirus pandemic this year, we saw much more preference towards growth stocks, which are like, for example, tech stocks that are very, very successful during periods of crisis. So don't you think that this shift of behavior is actually negative for Bitcoin?
So what I'm noticing is that the predominant narrative is reflation, the narrative that you're talking about. So how does that manifest itself in markets? If that's correct, that Bitcoin goes up because it's the doom trade, well, then you wouldn't have the biggest ever short position in the history of US bond markets going on in the 30-year bond. Everybody's betting on reflation. It's 4 standard deviations short. That's a massive position. We see similar positioning all across the